What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, good games from tabletop to video games. And today we have another Yu-Gi-Oh match with our C.O.D deck, and today we are against Mannadium, a deck that I really have no idea what's called. So I never heard of this deck, never played against it, nothing. So this is our first time playing against this deck, and I had no idea what it does. At first I thought it was like a fish deck, so didn't know, and definitely we're gonna see how the match ended. So before we begin, friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Okay. So we are going second, sadly. So we have abs, we have quick launch, we have foolish burial, and we have knight sword and king. Our opponent has bestial baldrake, vista, starfrost, Mannadium reframer, and then assault synchron, which is one of the new cards from Battle Legends, and then finally Mannadium fearless. Now this is why I thought it was a fish deck. I thought this was a fish bowl this whole time, so turns out it was not. Okay, so our opponent is going to go off, so they're going to go with that thing, which definitely does something. Yeah, I didn't even bother reading any of the card. I just told my opponent like go all out. If you check right here in the chat, I'm like, I don't mind. I don't have hand traps anyway, so for me it doesn't really matter at all. So they're gonna go all that. He could have been cheating this whole time, and I don't even know. If you guys notice anything or any misplays, definitely point them out in the comments, just for like either my knowledge or anyone else that's playing this deck or even playing against it, so they're aware of it. For me, I was just, oh, what was I doing at the time? I think I went to the bathroom and then came back and was just like chilling. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I know, like, even though I don't know this deck, I haven't heard any. If it's not like Runic or like any hand looping other decks, like it doesn't really need an opponent's like reaction or anything, or need them to like commit in specific stuff. Like even Cash actually has something because it actually banishes face down. Okay, so at least there is some interaction that you need your opponent to do some plays. But besides that, the majority of the decks now don't really need. So it's almost like solitaire format. Okay, so now we drew into another quick launch, which is very nice. So yeah, I click on it because I want to read it. So activate quick launch, seeing if we can bait anything out. No, okay, so we activate another quick launch, so we're all set from there. So we're going to supposed to summon two. We're just trying our best to bait as much as possible before we go all out. So now we're going to go and special, which is not an effect actually. It's inherent summon for abs. And then we're going to make charmer. We're going to trigger abs, seeing if he's going to negate. And he does, which is perfect because now we're going to go into battle phase. And when we had to deal with a few interruptions, now we have to deal with two less interruptions just by doing this. And also reading cards is very important because I did not know that this actually increases the attack of your monsters. So if he was actually higher, that could have actually been very threatening, and we could just lost the charmer. Actually, it wouldn't be so bad because if it like somehow suicide, nah, it wouldn't. It would be higher, and then we were probably lost. Okay, so now we're going to use Charmer to see if we get special. And he does a shenanigan to go and destroy. And then we're going to trigger Charmer, which is very nice. So our play is, since Charmer was destroyed, it's going to be Charm 1 and we charge it 2. Okay, so we charger is going to bring back the Tracer, and Charm is going to bring the Teal element. So now we could use the Teal effect, waiting for him to maybe interrupt this, see what he's going to do. No, he still doesn't. Okay, he's really holding on to that floor. Okay, so he's going to go, and we're going to send the Nitro Serpent, trigger the Nitro Serpent now. Okay, we're going to activate Foolish, and we're going to get our Chaos Levineer, and then we're going to go and activate our Starlies to add back the Chaos Levineer. Okay, but right now we're trying to still commit some other plays because we have no lights, so we have to bring some lights, but our opponent's not too aware of that, so we're just going to go and let's come towards bait a few more. So we're going to make Striker Dragon, since we already have two different rocket monsters, so that means we could actually bring out quite a bit of them. So we're going to go and overlay those two. use King of the Pharaoh Imp to go and add. So we're going to go and add Naya, and then we're going to go and activate Naya to send Curse, and then use Striker to go and pop the Imp so we get a Rocket Chaser. Now we're going to use Curse to go and special, and then we're going to special our Naya. Our opponent's going to special his Bestial, but the effect's negated, so it doesn't really matter anyways. So we're going to go and get our Water Lily. There we go. Now activate Boot. And he goes and activates this, which is a counter trap if what you have when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster, negate the activation. Oh yeah, so that's going to negate it. So I wasn't relying on another interruption, but no matter what, we still got this. So that's dead. Okay, now we're going normal summon because believe it or not, we did not normal summon. Yes, that's right. We've been doing nothing but special summoning monsters. So now we're going normal summon, which is quite good. We're going to overlay for a King of the Pharaoh Imps. We're going to use King of the Pharaoh Imps. And we're going to go and add the Nunu. And now we're going to activate the Nunu to go and send that. And then send the Zora. There we go. Now we're going to go and banish one light and two darks. Okay, and look at that. Okay, our opponent decides to finally negate, and it does destroy, sadly. Okay, next we're going to go and activate our Water Lily to send the Overlord and spell summon the Overlord. And then we're going to go and use Zora's effect to discard a king to send that to add the Zora, and now we're going to use the King's effect to go and tribute the two to spell summon King, and then we're going to go and use our Overlord's effect to go and send our opponent's board, and then activate King to let us add now. So now we're all set for follow-up turn. So it's not that bad. We actually got rid of quite a lot. One, our opponent did lose a lot of resources, so we managed to do that. So the starting board is now like bye-bye. And if they choose to add, we could just hand loop them once again, so that's not even an issue at all. This is dead because we did use the effect. So yeah, so now it's going to be our opponent's turn. Okay, they drew into Beast of Megalith. Okay, go, and he quit. There you have it. So that was a very interesting game, but also I know as a fact it was definitely not in his favor because we still had Curse. We still have another target for Naya, so we can actually start adding back more cards and then start doing like the King and the Queen play and even extend it further. So no matter what, like from here, I don't see him doing that much. Like maybe there's something I'm not aware of, like with those two that you could possibly do, and also with this was that when activating, and then for every defense gains 100, so it could be decently high. Like if he, no, not really. He can't even get over this. So yeah, it didn't really look like in his favor. Maybe he had something in the extra deck, or maybe there's something that you guys could think of that he might have in the extra deck that could definitely be all this. But what I'm seeing from here, we broke that board pretty well, dealt with multiple of interruptions and negations, and we managed to beat Triumph. And you know what, in total having 4 cards remaining, which is very, very good. And our opponent had what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that was pretty good, and no cards in hand, so amazing. And that's it for our video. So if you guys enjoyed today's video and want to see maybe like more matches or full matches of me against this deck, I'll definitely like post them if I have the chance. But this is the first time I ever see this deck, like ever. I never played this in like Duelingbook. This was like the first time, and I was like, okay, pretty interesting. So cool board. Let's break it. But yeah, so definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell for upcoming videos that we're planning to do. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.